Anyways, in like kind of like Sunday Fun Day news, did you guys see this Grummz story? Apparently, Grummz has been running a fetish porn ring for years with his own mother. Also appears there's a lot of crossover between the equipment he used for his gaming companies and the stuff he used to film his pornography. In 2012, Red 5 wired $50,000 to League for Gamers, a now dissolved nonprofit founded by Grummz as an advocacy group for video games. Only the transaction was never recorded with the state of California. LFG was eventually dissolved, and then a for-profit company was incorporated in Delaware under the same name. Curious. In 2016, Grummz was slapped with a lien for more than $260,000 in unpaid taxes. The porn Grummz film was published under his Debbie Chan persona, and eventually his own mother would be listed as the CEO of DB Chan LLC, his porn company, before its dissolution. I have not watched any of the archive videos. I've only seen still images. While some of it was discoverable, none of it was ever uploaded to Usenet or any private porn trackers, which says more about the level of quality the smut Grummz was producing than I ever could. Let's watch the video. We will. Not beating the milk. No. Not beating the mom milk stealing allegations. No. Beginning in 2001, while an active employee at Blizzard, Grummz began moonlighting as Debbie Chan / Foxy Fighter. We know this is Grummz because while searching pawn databases for Foxy Fighter, he created, commissioned, and produced catfight fetish porn under these names for over 2 decades. He also produced and filmed live-action catfight porn. What the fuck is that? I don't even know what that is. With professional porn stars in 2010s using Red Dragon cameras, which just so happen to be the same type of cameras Red 5 purchased for their studio. They even made a promotional video in which Grummz states Red 5 purchased 3 Red Dragons. What a strange coincidence. None of these words are in the Bible. Failed pornographer. Okay. Also, I'm not going to get into it, but the full article talks about the details of it, and it's all the worst thing you can think of. But it's bad. It's bad. I'm not going to talk about it any further. It's bad. It's not good. It's not good. This is pretty funny, though. The breast milk situation. Grummz has been accused of stealing milk that a Blizzard employee claims was taken from a refrigerator at the Blizzard offices. This could not have been about Grummz because it happened after his departure, but it is funny to joke about. However, we found dozens of breast milk posts among his photos among his posts. And I guess this is his account. I think it's his account. I don't know whose account this is. Oh, yeah. Debbie, aka Grummz, recommends a Japanese breast milking series and reveals he owned and operated another site called Latina Catfights. These fights are pretty hot. I love it when one girl is on all fours and the other is straddling her and reaching down to milk her. Yum. These are some Japanese videos that feature milking, such as the Big Bust series here. Not all will feature this. Hard to tell which will. Also, the Brazilian site that used to feature some of these is no longer selling in the US. I had one done for my old site, Latina Catfights. Let me see if I can find it and post a small segment to YouTube. If you use any of these words in even remotely the same order on the internet.
You shout like that, they put you in jail right away. No trial, no nothing. We have the best patients in the world.
You post about catfight porn where someone is being milked, straight to jail. Straight to
streaming.
Because of jail.
Dude, I pick such good people to make fun of. Like, isn't it funny that, like, I made a joke at this guy's expense and then he was like, they're targeting me. She tried to put a hit out on me. And like anyone with 2 eyes can see that it's a joke and only the people that are pretending. Like, you know it's bad when Asmongold watches the clip and says, oh, she's obviously joking. I gotta watch my favorite streamers. Gotta go. Denims is streaming. All right, let's go. I don't know how much of this we're gonna watch because it is 38 minutes, but I do want to watch some. Tim Pool's hairline. Thank you for the 5 gift subs. Thank you.
The reactionary right wing is more of a freak than you, I, we, anyone could actually imagine. This all comes with receipts. This is all grounded in facts. This is all quite legally safe for me to talk about. This is all public record. I'm getting this out of the way quickly because I know the person I'm going to be talking about is the kind of person to scream that he's being doxxed, cancelled, and threaten lawyers. This all started from a historic data breach, which isn't actually like quite a safe way to get into this, but when I corroborated it with other sources, I found out that this was just sitting out in the open for anyone to find who knew exactly where to look for a name, a registered company, and then you start pulling on a string.
I've learned so much today that I never wanted to learn. Knowledge is power, the power to be depressed.
And pulling on another string and another string, and you find out that this goes deeper than you would think. Don't worry, Mark.
You can skip to the next chapter because the first part is mostly just him covering his ass. I want to watch a little bit of it and then we can skip.
I'm not going to show any more than I have to. You and your family will not be identified. This is not doxing in a meaningful sense that you're going to talk about. This is just you and me having a conversation. Everyone else is along for the ride. By the way, don't reuse passwords.
What's the name of the jail video? I usually just search straight to jail and then it comes up.
For shit like this, especially if you're trying to make two separate personas with different names that you're going to LARP as for 20 plus years. If you're a 40-year-old man at the time and 60-plus-year-old now, you've done that. I can establish that.
Wait, he's 60? Oh my God, I always forget.
But don't. That's an advice for anyone else looking to start up a separate online persona in the future. Use a completely separate email with a completely separate password. It might actually prevent this. Don't use the same lawyers either.
No,
actually.
He's 57.
The same lawyers to register your company. There's so many steps that this guy has failed at to protect himself, and it's just all come unraveled with publicly accessible information. Also, don't use your real name to register these emails. Your real name's out there on this historical Who Is information. When you update this information, it doesn't go away. It's there, it's stored. The internet never forgets is the phrase I summarize up a lot. The internet never forgets. The internet will never let go. The internet remembers everything that you have done, everything that you have purchased, everything that you have registered. Somewhere deep down until that drive stops spinning, the internet will know, and now we have found it. Some of this, like, disgusting onanist defenders are going to immediately reject the video based on how many subscribers and followers I have, and I don't care. I am a podcaster. I have a normal job. Consider getting one of those before you start trying to swing at me. Most of you are on Twitter for 15 hours a day arguing over whether Yasuke is too woke. Statistically, you don't know me. I know this. You know this. We know this. By the time this finishes, you're going to know me, and that's fine. It's nice.
Obsidian, thank you for the 5 gift subs. Thank you.
Nice to meet you. My name's MLYP. Pause the video, grab a drink. We're going to be here for a while. I want you walking away from this video bemused the idea that there's a 60-year-old man out there who has a maid outfit wearing VTuber as his public-facing persona, who abuses his parents' goodwill to front up LLC companies so that he can avoid California taxation law, while also trying to drive gamer culture further to the right because he thinks things are just a little too woke for him these days. And his little...
It has the same quality or like the same vibe as that one guy who does like VTubing on YouTube, and he has like this like anime character as his, well, I mean, they're all anime characters, I guess, with the twin tails. And it's like, and when you're like an adult, when you're an adult man and you can choose any way to show off your VTuber model, and you pick a VTuber model that's flat-chested, I raised my eyebrow a little. You can make the boobs so big. You can make them as big as you want. It's a VTuber model. You can go real doll levels, as big as you want. And you go for a flat chest as an adult male? I raise an eyebrow at that, okay? I raise an eyebrow at that.
60-year-old brain can't handle it. There's
It's
a reason
giving lolly, which I don't like.
I'm showing my face on camera today. There's a reason that I'm not hiding behind an avatar like I normally do. I am better than him. This is just one of the ways. I'm better than him in every way that fucking matters, to be honest. Like on a moral level, on a conceptual level, on a how I earn my money level. I am better than this man.
Yes,
And
go
I don't care
in.
that you think otherwise. I know this in my belief system and his. I am better. I am going to keep saying that this is very findable information. I am going to keep saying that this is all legally accessible information. This is not being doxxed. This is not being cancelled. I'm going to address that again and again just to hammer the point home, because the target of this video is going to come with lawyers, or this target of this video is going to come and try and whip up a screaming mob that he's been cancelled and send a harassment campaign my way and other people's way. This is part of what he does. None of this is secret information that you are legally allowed privacy over. This is part of public California state record. I will not be revealing addresses. I will not be revealing full emails. I can assure you they match, Mark. You are just going to have to trust me. You know it, I know it, and everyone else will know it. The fact that you're out there deleting things rapidly when you got a hint that people knew about this kind of proves that it's you. And that's what actually matters deep down. In your bones, you know what's about to come out. These same emails that I'm referring to that were in that data breach earlier have been publicly posted by you in multiple places across multiple whois records. That's a key and public-facing part of internet structure. That is not doxing. That is all right here when you check DNS and whois records. That will never go away. That is part of what you have put out into the internet. If I type your name into a specific search engine, I can see exactly what websites you've registered going all the way back to about 1996. There is very public LLC information with your family's name, and I'll get to why it's your family's name and not yours on these LLCs in due time. I haven't stolen any private information. I have not illegally accessed any information. This is a case of finding one little string of public information you have left out, and now the whole fucking house of cards is coming down on you. You are welcome to scream at stop.
Bro, I hope I never make this guy mad. This guy goes hard. Oh my. Oh my.
I will say this once again. This is
Damn.
publicly accessible information that you have posted on the internet and have left it out there for me to talk about. I'm leaning in to make a point because I want you odious little goblin of a man, to really beat this into your thick skull. This is the digital equivalent of a phone book. This is the digital equivalent of me picking up the yellow pages, which you are old enough to distinctly remember. I know that you're 60 plus years old, and noticing that two separate people have the exact same phone number and going, wonder what that's about. Asking around and realizing that those two people are the same person. They've just got two names for some reason. I wonder why that is. I really want you to understand that we know. You've gone around to try and delete everything. You are rapidly deleting every public piece of this persona. It's been archived. We've got it saved. You're good. This video will be going up in places other than YouTube. I am under no illusions that you're not going to try and get this taken down through some kind of spurious DMCA claim or something similar. The internet will never forget. It will be elsewhere. It will be publicly disseminated. People will know. I've also consulted with a lawyer. We're good. We're in the clear, legally. Why don't I just get to the point instead of being cryptic? Now I have to sit back because Mike Kern, aka Grummz, has been coasting on the success of his one or two actual highlights of his career. The rest is a sad tale of an old man desperately clinging to relevance. He's worked as an associate producer on StarCraft, the producer on Diablo 2, and was a team lead in World of Warcraft. I'm not going to dispute or deny the fact that he worked on these titles. That's documented. He's in the credits. I find it fascinating that he's barely ever mentioned by former co-workers in a positive light, and that's fascinating, isn't it? Fascinating to think about. Since leaving Blizzard, he has been coasting on that success and to build clout in the reactionary online space, joining Gamergate 1 before leaving because he was too transphobic at the time. He continued coasting off the back of this and used the petition to bring classic WoW back and use that to leverage it into even more clout. That's another one of his big career highlights. He organizes...
Can I show this on Twitch? This feels like murder. I feel like I'm showing TOS, showing this on Twitch. Like, I just want to eat my popcorn and like, oh my God. Whoever recommended this video, you were straight spitting, man. Fuck. I've never seen a video intro go so hard. I didn't even need to skip the beginning. That was so good, dude. Oh my God. Oh my.
harassment campaigns against developers that he thinks are doing things a little too wokely, and by a little too wokely, I mean doing it while being too much of a woman or being maybe too brown for his tastes. I keep saying he's coasting, and he's fucking coasting. Our boy Mark Edward Kern has been nothing but a failure since leaving Blizzard Entertainment in 2005, reduced to tweeting 100 times a day that Assassin's Creed Shadows is too woke because they've taken a historical figure
H Bomber guys in the comments.
And embellished certain portions of their life in a game that's never been about historical accuracy to begin with. He keeps saying that he's winning the war on the woke mind virus, and this is the
Grum. H Bomber, can you come on my podcast?
year that we will actually defeat wokeness in video
Chat, type Grum if you exist.
games. All the while, he's just beating his meat over Eve from Stellar Blade. He's never actually played Stellar Blade, by the way. Before you try and chime in about Assassin's Creed, by the way, your parents don't love you. It's a genuinely fun and interesting fact that since leaving Blizzard, Mark Kern has never released a successful game. In 2005, he co-founded a studio called Red 5.
I have to say, the people who made that one Ember 8 game, because he didn't the fucking idiot didn't copyright it, and they made it a game about him getting cucked by some other random dudes or something, and his wife or whatever. That's hilarious, dude. That's so good, dude. Oh my god. Wait, what? I'll find it for you guys if you guys haven't heard of it.
With 3 other former Blizzard employees. He played a significant role in that development and was made CEO in 2008. If you know anything about Mark, if you've heard of like a little bit of him before, you will understand that he has allegations of overspending and promotional campaigns for Firefall. You've heard of the Firefall bus? That was made by West Coast Customs. You know what West Coast Customs is. You've been online. That shit cost $3 million. He purchased not 1, not 2, but 3 red epic dragons for his Red 5 Studios. This is a video production arm that's completely unnecessary for a video game developer. And my rough calculation is that including inflation, that is 40 to 50 grand per camera in modern day money. 150 grand on cameras that are not fucking needed. You don't need to shoot 4K footage in 2013 to document your video game. Red 5 employees describe Mark Kern as being prone to extended absences and having erratic, impulsive, and very disruptive leadership styles. Anyway, Firefall was an absolute flop because Mark Kern doesn't actually know how to make games at all. I don't think it's particularly controversial to hold the opinion that World of Warcraft succeeded despite this guy and all the time he did spend on his little side projects. Again, I have receipts for this. Anyway, in 2013, Mark was removed as CEO from Red 5 by the board of directors of the company. Let's start the scamming people out of their money counter, shall we? Kern founded the studio MEK Entertainment in 2014. He raised $1 million in seed funding for an Oculus Rift MMO. Guess what happened? You've got 3 attempts. Correct, he ran with the money. The game never existed. You know what did exist is a tax bill from the state of California for over $250,000 for 3 years that he never paid his taxes.
This was it. I don't know if this video is
Hey
a good
everyone, I hope
summary,
you're doing
but basically he never not copyrighted, but like patented. I forget the name. I think it might be copyrighted. The name for his game, Ember, spelled with like an, I don't know if it's pronounced some other way, I don't fucking know, but with an A instead of a B. The dev's name is Grummz. And they made it a game about how let me see the description of the game.
game called Ember. So it's an adult game called
Oh my god, the audio, the leftist audio. It says it's a linear adult kinetic novel. In this story, you will be playing as Mark on his 10th anniversary to his beautiful wife, Emma. But instead of spending their anniversary like every other year, this year, Emma suggests they could spend it at a new club called Ember. What kind of club is this, and why does his wife, Emma, want to go there for their 10th anniversary? Assume the role of Mark and experience this fateful and unforgettable night. And it's just a game where you play as Mark and get cucked.
Hassan, yes, Denims is steaming. Hey, it's me Hassan. Just like that chatter, I would also be amazed to watch you debate Asman Mold. Feel free to do that shit in my humongous mansion. I'll be sipping on my cold drinks, enjoying the show.
Excellent.
and now they have a publicly viewable lien against him for this. This didn't stop him from founding another company called Crowdfunding Labs. He's not the owner on paper, though. That's actually a completely different family member, which I will get to. Mark, or whatever little pervert foot soldier of his that's watching this, this is all publicly accessible information from the Secretary of State in California. This is all part of the Chamber of Commerce. This is all public register that will be kept on file until long after you are dust. Anyway, with Crowdfunding Lab now up and running, he obviously got the itch again, and in 2016, he started crowdfunding a game called Ember, a spiritual successor to Firefall. He can't let that one go. That is his baby. He did an interview with a YouTuber in 2024 claiming about 600K has been raised so far for Ember. Guess where that shit is? It's DOA. There's no meaningful updates for any actual length of time. It's very haphazard. It's very obvious that he's neglecting this for his Twitter rants. It's a Discord purged of dissent and a subreddit full of people disappointed that he's gone down this absurd little culture war path. I'm not going to go into the nitty-gritty weeds for hours explaining what an awful game this is. There's other YouTubers that have. It's on the screen. Just look at it.
TLDR, the game, he's been working on this game for like, I think it's getting close to a decade at this point, and there's basically nothing. He's made basically nothing. I think it's like a couple character models and some environment. And that's it. He spent 10 years making a cuck simulator. No. He's been spending 10 years making some like worse what game would you even compare it to? I don't even know. Star Citizen, I don't know what you would compare it to. It's a completely unfinished game. It's barely been started at all. There's nothing in there in the game to even call it a type of game. And he forgot to copyright the name Ember, so somebody else made a cuck simulator with the same name on Steam.
Our boy is planning to fundraise more, and he's calling this just a vertical slice, and he wants to do a Kickstarter one day. I've seen more coherent games out of weekend-long game jams. It's not slanderous, libelous, or any other kind of word to say that this man, Mark Edward Kern, head developer of Crowdfunding Labs, is basically scamming people out of their money. It took him months to texture 3 models and give them each 3 frames of attack animation. There is no meaningful work being done on this game outside of reposting old AI-generated art, old commissioned art, and reposting old models that he had made 10 years ago. This man, all he does is log into the Discord, post, "This will be a great year for Ember," log off, start posting on Twitter while he deletes his old website and removes the ability to unsubscribe to long-suffering backers. There are people in there who are afraid that they're going to die before this game comes out, and they are desperate for just a taste of Firefall once again. And all he does is ignore them. You might be wondering, if this guy doesn't work on his game and all he does is post, again, it took him 6 months to texture a fucking model, what does he do? And he had other business ventures, and he had them for a very long time. What I have in my hands is, it's probably the most complete biography of Mark Edward Kern, aka Grummz, that you're ever going to get. So Mark isn't 100% into the game dev and culture war life. No, he has other side projects. There's objective proof of companies he has registered and deregistered, websites that he has worked on, money that he has taken from people for these other projects under other names, but it all comes back to him.
This is a pretty good video, I think, on a bunch of different examples of like the crowdfunding he's done over the years. So like you can see he's crowdfunded for forums for this game that hasn't been made yet. And again, this is over the course of like, I think we're getting to a decade of him working on this game. But you can see here, he raised $3,000 for the forums, website, and art, and then he raised $23,000 for massive planetary war game, Ember. And he had raised, this is when he reached $100,000 of his goal. I think he ended up scamming people out of close to $600,000 for this game. And after all that time, guess what he has now? This is what he has. Hello, everyone. We are getting flooded by obvious trolls after I posted the excellent Felly Gatestrider video last night. This means we are winning. They hate that she looks good. Just keep in mind that not all people are being genuine here. It looks like the cuck sim. 5 poop emoji reacts. Which is good. That's good. That looks really good. And then the only other thing that I've seen that he's released has been this. That's why when I was trying to describe it, I was like, I don't even know what I would call this type of game, like what genre this is. It's just a Firefall asset? Because there's no game there yet. I can't even call it a type of game because there's no game yet. It looks like Anthem. I mean, again, it's just a bunch of assets being used. There's no game there yet. I can't comment or even give it a genre. And also, this is not to mention the fact that like when your game is at this point, it can go in any direction. I mean, for a very long time, the developers of Overwatch thought that they were going to make an MMO. They thought like Overwatch would be MMO adjacent. And that was when they had like lots of textures for the game. And then they realized, wait, no, we should go in like a PvP direction. Like when you still have so little of the game done, there's a billion different directions you can take that game. So I can't even comment on what the game is because he hasn't fucking made anything yet. Fun fact, Diablo was originally intended to be turn-based. Yeah.
Once again, this is publicly accessible information. When he found out people were looking for this, he's deleted the LinkedIn, Instagram, DeviantArt, clips for sale, Twitter account. Every public-facing piece of information that we can find has now been deleted. While you, Mark Edward Kern, were beating your meat raw over anime children's navels, we were finding out more about you than anyone should. Draw your blade, pervert. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to what I am calling the Goonanomicon. Now, this.
Sorry, also, I just want to say, I don't know if I said thank you or not, but I'm saying thank you for the 5 gifts of Dakyo. Thank you for the Prime. Thank you, guys.
This isn't a magic book full of spells that you can only cast
The
once.
Steam reviews for Ember by Cums are giving me life.
Handed. This is a documentation of Mark Edward Kern, the first in a series of some of the worst onanists, some of the worst masturbators in the gaming sphere who are trying to mold and manipulate gaming culture to return to a time when they were 12 years old and all they had in life to look forward to is extra cheese sticks and a woman in a bikini. It will become pretty obvious that these men just think with their erections. People forget that hating is an inherently valuable form of critical thinking. I have learned tens of thousands of facts via hate.
Honey Love City, thank you for the tier 1. Belzara, thank you for the 3 months.
If you are truly hating, you will take all the time you need to learn everything about the subject you are hating on just to hate better, deeper, efficiently, effectively. This is a law of nature. This is a law of hating. The only thing that stopped this from coming out earlier is no one has been motivated enough to pay a data aggregator $11, and there are multiple data aggregators that have this information just sitting out there in the open. The story here is that Grummz is a man who has aggressively pursued his personal interests at great cost to his family and his career. The biggest crime here is that anime babes with huge bazongas are his main interest. Actually, no, that's not the biggest crime, it's tax fraud. We'll get there. All of these points are archived in the description with source links. In 1968, Grummz comes into the world. Mark Edward Kern.
No. Damn you, 1968.
He is a former video game executive. 1992, he gets his bachelor's degree in cognitive science from the University of Rochester. He eventually gets his doctorate from Boston University School of Law with a specialization in IP. He goes on to found Qualia Games in Boston, developing a top-down 2D shooter called Crixer. This is with Blizzard's backing, and he loves the name Crixer. Crixer is eventually cancelled by Blizzard. They do pull the funding, and Qualia shuts down. There's not enough money to pay the payroll. Blizzard used this as a way to get some talent, and Mark is unfortunately the only one to take them up on that offer. He eventually moves on to a role at Blizzard. He serves as an associate producer for StarCraft, works on StarCraft 64 and Diablo 2 as a producer. He's in the credits. I'm not going to dispute the fact that he worked on these games. This is part of his career. March 27th, 2001, foxyfighter.com is purchased by Mike Kern. Ignore the country of France. That is where Gandhi SAS is located. They're a French company, but Mike Kern is the registrant. Now, Mike Kern isn't a unique name, but there's later information that basically proves that this is him. Now, what is foxyfighter.com? To put it as simply as possible, foxyfighter.com is sexy catfight hentai. It is a website run by a persona called Debbie Chan, but Debbie Chan is Mark. And that's underselling it. He has, over the course of 20 plus years, collected a variety of live-action catfights, drawn hentai catfights, quite a bit of like run-of-the-mill porn. However, there are multiple stories where his persona, Debbie, violently sexually abuses women. It's been scrubbed at this point. As soon as Grummz got a sniff that people were investigating this, he ripped down as much as he could. Unfortunately, we archived most of it. The email addresses that we found share passwords when searching a pwn database, which is a database of dumped passwords and email addresses. We found a Foxy Fighter email sharing the same password as Mark Kern's email. Fascinating, huh? We also found this one.
Pretty little girl, 18, or does that say? No, it says 16. Username from Debbie Chan with pretty little girl 16. Good and normal. Good and normal. Grandma, Mom, pick me up. This doesn't feel like fun day anymore. Mom, I'm scared. I want to go home. It's really funny because he's trying to run defense right now. Can you imagine being Grummz? You wake up at 6:30 a.m. and you're like, oh, I gotta fix this. Lefties went too far. They doxed me. Tried to get me killed with bounties. Oh no, it's trying to get you killed with bounties, you fucking shit for brains. And then they went to the dark web. Ooh, the dark web. To nab plain word passwords and emails to try and cancel me for stuff 20 years ago when he was just a widow baby, when he was only 40 years old. Which turned out to be nothing, by the way. Don't look into it. Put me in a position where I have no choice but to destroy their ideology. Oh no, the divorced 60-year-old is coming to destroy our ideology. Oh man, you really didn't want that. Yeah, shut the fuck up, loser. Bro, no one is afraid of you. We know what you look like. You have posted images of what you look like. No one is afraid of you. Sir, you are not scary enough to say, oh, you really didn't want to do that. You're not threatening at all, like even a little. None of you is threatening, okay? Some people talked about the fact that you were posting weird fucking porn under your mom's name so that it's not your name on the LLC. And it called you out for tax fraud. What the fuck is wrong with you? If you give him a fedora and a samurai sword, he might be threatening. That's a good point. That's a good point. Maybe he studied the blade.
I'm just leaving that out there. Moving on. July 21st, 2001 is the earliest capture of foxyfighters.com. On February 28, 2002, Debbie wins second place in the third Seeking Femfights story competition, so he is actively making this stuff. And on March 24, 2003, we get RussianCatfights.com. This is another site owned by Mark. He confirms it on a Twitter post. March 22nd, 2004, we get an archive of Latina catfights. This is also owned by Mark. June 28, 2004, access to Foxy Fighter goes for about $10 a month. Posts are stories and drawn artwork. November 13, 2004, World of Warcraft releases. This is effectively the pinnacle of Mark's career. He's credited as team lead. He says he works on drafting the TOS in ULA and does licensing with China. He leaves Blizzard shortly afterwards. He says he's going to go and be with some family. So I don't blame him. Like, that was a very hard process, even if he was apparently a bit of a shithead. Look, no one's spoken about him in a good light at Blizzard, really, like not in a way that I think a team lead should in this role. Very shortly afterwards, him and a few other Blizzard employees found Red 5 Studios. So he obviously had a couple of friends who wanted to work with him, but he's not really mentioned in a lot of these retrospective books. It's real fascinating. June 15th, 2005, RussianCatfights.com is closed due to changes in US law. And on August 18th, 2005, LatinaCatfights.com is closed to the same changes. So I don't want to point out that this is anything egregiously sinister. This was a change that was required in the porn industry to have verified records of the performers. Before this law, those records were not kept. Blizzard in 2008 had some problems. People were stealing breast milk from the fridge. This is attributed to Mark. People call him the breast milk bandit. He wasn't working there at the time, and he's not the breast milk bandit.
When I spread misinfo.
It's funny to think he is. Please keep doing it.
Because everybody knows that he wasn't, but it's funny. It's very funny. It's very funny objectively.
Like, it's very funny. But we found dozens of breast milk photos on foxyfighter.com, so smoke this fire, huh, Mark? October 17th, 2008, as forum admin on freecatfights.com, Debbie recommends a Japanese breast milking series to another forum member and reveals that he owned latinacatfights.com. Now, you might notice that this is forum admin with a Batman avatar. This was scrubbed about a day ago. But this is him. April 23rd, 2009, Red 5 lays off 30 people. Reports of a studio purchase emerge. March 10th, 2010, that's...
Sorry, 1 second. There's a TOS photo coming up, is there? Oh, I don't see one.
Studio purchase comes through a company called...
I'll double check while we're watching.
9 announces acquisition of Red 5 Studios, and Grummz becomes CEO. May 19th, 2010, Grummz buys a Leica S2 and a 70mm lens from OC Camera. Now, I bring this up because we match metadata from some of the live action photos on Foxy Fighter to this exact camera and lens types that we know he owns. September 3rd, 2010, Red 5 announces Firefall at PAX. September 20th, 2011, he goes and advertises foxyfighter.com and freecatfights.com on r/comics, which probably not the best place to do it, but doesn't even get a single piece of engagement. That's kind of sad.
Can you imagine that you're so excited to show everyone the stuff that you've collected and gathered online for your weird porn fetish and nobody gives a fuck? So you have to start going to Reddit and being like, please, everyone, please look at my cat fights, please. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Come on, man, you're better posted than this. Even I can admit that, but dog. March 7th, 2011, he asks for models to star in fighting videos, so he's starting to move into the live action space at this point.
Also, when you read the post, he's pretending to be a girl. Oh my God.
March 21st, 2011, model Megan Renee posts, "I adore you, Mark," on his Model Mayhem profile. And that's his Model Mayhem profile, Studio Foxy Fighter. You see that little boxing glove image up the top right next to his profile? That one is an exact match to a camera lens I know he owns and a camera that he owns. Just a thought. October 5th.
Uh-oh. Not tax fraud. Uh-oh.
2011, an IGN interview mentions Firefall will release soon. And he goes on to film a video
Also,
of
yeah, the ROI on those cameras must have been shit, yeah.
Randy Moore and Kimberly Jane. In January 18th, 2012...
Why not openly be a pervert developer? There has to be a market for this stuff for ages. I guess he wanted to do PDF shit. I guess that's why. No, I mean, I don't think it's even that. I think it's just like he's tried for so long to be relevant, but he doesn't actually want to work hard to make a game. He just wants to be a gooner and he wants people to give him money for being a gooner, basically. He's just like a failed, well, I guess he was a failed porn producer, and now he's a failed game developer, but he still needs to make money on the internet somehow, so he's decided the right-wing grift will pay out. But I mean, like, hey, maybe it's working for him. I mean, Elon Musk is responding to his post in agreement with him. Personally, when Elon Musk responds, if he responds to my post, I would be very concerned, but I guess that's a win for him.
Red 5 skips E3 to protest SOPA. Mark is really big on hating SOPA, and he skips it and donates 50 grand, which was their E3 fund, to found the League for Gamers instead. League for Gamers is ostensibly a non-profit founded by Mike Kern. They style themselves as an advocacy group for video games, consumer-centric versus industry-focused. They represent the gamer. Red 5 paid this charity $50,000. He wired himself 50 grand from his slowly failing game studio, which I'm guessing is all that was left in the couch cushions at this point. Never logged the transaction with the state of California. This should be logged. It's not in the logs where we're checking. We can see the logs, but it's not there. He then waits for California to dissolve the nonprofit, then started a for-profit Delaware corp with the same name. That's bad. Why was this allowed? Is this all above board tax-wise? I'm sure the California AG would love to know.
I'm pretty sure the reason why you want to do it in Delaware is because I looked into this briefly, and like there is some anonymity that you can get with LLCs in Delaware. So people tend to do it in Delaware. If I'm not mistaken, that's the real reason.
This and the rest of your tax dodges.
I don't know that it's for specifically corporate tax dodging. It might be for corporate tax dodging, but I know that that Delaware is very good about privacy with regards to LLC.
June 6, 2012, Grummz offers his opinion on the Leica S2 and Nikon D3S, mentions using them for the last 2 years. This is, again, just here as an aside, he used these cameras and 100...
Is it also for tax relations? Okay, let me see. What specific tax laws are in Delaware? I don't know enough about Delaware. Businesses. And this is just my personal curiosity. It is for taxes? Wait, if he's at the point where he's using his mom for the LLC names, he cares very clearly about privacy. It can be for multiple reasons. I'm saying at least one of those is for the privacy of not needing to put your specific name for an LLC. It can also be for taxes. Businesses don't have any state or local sales taxes. Delaware, however, has an annual business license requirement. Okay, so it's for both.
% owned them. They are a match for Foxy Fighters content in the unscrubbed metadata. July 4th, 2013, you remember the Firefall bus? Well, that's shown at Anime Expo LA. July 9th, 2013, Firefall finally enters open beta. They are rapidly running out of money though, that's gonna become obvious. December 19th, 2013, he gets removed as CEO. They vote him out. July 29th, 2014, Firefall finally releases. September 22nd, 2014.
Hang it up, man. Hang it up. Hang it up. You get kicked and they release the game without your ass. Oh.
Mark is, after his next venture, he has made MEK Entertainment, Mark Edward Kern Entertainment. It is in Aliso Viejo, which is where everything that he does is based. They are an indie game company looking to leverage the blockchain, maybe, 10 years too early for that hype, but I respect the forward-facing vision. MEKentertainment.com launches at this point. They are registered to MEK Entertainment Inc. However, looking at those business entries, it looks like he never actually registered it as a company called MEK Entertainment. The game from the seed funding never really materializes. He gets ousted from MEK Entertainment and they go on to make a game called Voxelnauts.
Everything he touches, they're like, get the fuck out of here.
But Mark never really does anything with his money, and we'll get to some allegations about that money later on. June 17th, 2015, Grummz announces that he's joining Gamergate. He's mad. He's always mad. He's mad and he's horny. July 7th, 2015, DB Chan LLC is registered. Mark Kern's mother is the registered CEO. And imagine having your mother being the CEO of your porn company. Come on, man. Have some pride. August 8th, 2015, MEK Entertainment changes to Retro Ronin Inc., which is a site about voxelnauts. No Mark. Mark is no longer working for Retro Ronin.
Damn, dude. They fucking ousted you from the company named after you, and then they changed the name.
And on September 14th, 2015, Crixa Labs LLC is registered. This is the same address as DVChan LLC.
Damn, he must suck to work with. Jesus.
Interesting. My question here is why? It seems legally sketchy to register two LLCs under your 80-year-old mum's name. My working theory is that this is a tax shelter and it allows him to report that he earns 0 or less than the personal income required to be taxable by law, and then he can report any additional earnings to his LLCs. He can then write taxes down by saying his revenue did not exceed his annual expenses. He can say his business spent more than they earned, not pay a dime on the money. This is classic tax fraud. Again, California AG would love to have this information. October 19th, 2015, Debbie floats the idea of creating an online cat fight game, likely thing for Mark to do. November 2nd, 2015, the Patreon for Foxy Fighters is launched. It maxes out at $57 a month and it's eventually paused in 2020. November 16th, 2015, Cameroon Wildebeest is a prolific artist working in the catfight scene. They've passed away. His hard drive is too damaged to recover and a terabyte of catfight art is lost
Not the catfight art, no!
forever. November 20th, 2015, Mark's wife disappears from social media as far as we can tell at this point. Until then, she'd been quite a big cheerleader for him in the online space. So, just kind of putting it in here as a marker, really. December 9th, 2015, he leaves.
And that's when it was all starting to fall apart.
Gamergate after being kind of too transphobic.
Like Babylon all
does
over
drop a couple
again.
of F slurs, so good job. No, sorry, he doesn't drop the F slurs. People on Kotaku and Action do, but they're mad that he's, yeah, look, these people are all sad and need jobs. December 17th, 2015, Mark does interview to promote his free speech organization. He's still trying to keep League of Gamers going at this point, and Voxelnaut's Twitter comes out and alleges that Mark stole money from Voxelnaut. So that's where that money went from that seed funding. Jan 16th, 2016, on freecatfights.com, they've been filming fights with a Red Dragon camera. Now that's interesting. Are these the same Red Dragon cameras that Red 5 had in their studio? I raised this earlier in the video. They had 3 Red Dragon cameras in their possession worth $50,000 each. That's the whole rig. That's not just the brain. The brain's about 20. We have evidence that Mark was in possession of Red accessories at his personal lockup in California after he had left Red 5. Are they the cameras? Did he abscond with them, or did he purchase them with some of his pilfered MEK Entertainment money? I'm not alleging anything specific here. I am asking questions. What is fascinating is that he had access to these same cameras.
Is this drama ASMR? This audio is making me want to relax, but the content is tea. I don't want. I think so. Yeah. Dude, the cam that the slow-mo guys use is like $50K now. Dude, can you imagine you're shooting like this fucking dumb fucking fetish catfight porn and you have to spend you need your $150,000 worth of cameras to shoot this? Like, what the fuck?
Red did after he left Red 5. Remember that tax fraud discussion? It's at this point that Mark is hit with a lien for $265,133.88 for unpaid tax from the years 2011, 2012, and 2013. Excuse me for messing up the 2013 to 2015 on this slide. I'm not going to fix it. May 2nd, 2016, Debbie Chan posts on Twitter looking for models, promises good conditions and a full makeup and hair crew.
Dragon Army, thank you for the 5 gifts. Of Dustbowl, WW Nightly, thank you guys all so much for the subbies. Honey Love, Kodahara, thank you guys. 18 and the tier 1, thank you.
May 25th, 2016, Kern goes to the Firefall subreddit telling people they should kill the game so that he can buy back the IP for cheap, which is kind of sad to me. It's still an active game at this point, but you're actively trying to kill it so you can buy and get it back because you're mad you got ousted.
And then he lost the name Ember to this other guy who made a cuck game for him.
He can't let it go, can he? May 29th, 2016, he delivers a petition to restore vanilla World of Warcraft to Blizzard. This is kind of his other big claim to fame in modern day. And June 11th, 2016, the legal compliance page for foxyfighter.com lists the mailing address for DBChan LLC as the same address that Crixer Labs is registered to. I've censored it here, but that is fascinating.
That's fair, Green Bay. That is fair.
You can't deny that DBChan.
Here's the link to the video. Please go like it, comment, give it a view, subscribe.
Foxy Fighters. That's Mark. It is Mark. June 27th, 2016, Make Ember, a spiritual successor to Firefall, is posted on change.org by Mark. That does hit 4,700 supporters. So, let's make Ember. He has camera equipment. He posts camera equipment to Flickr. Lenses here are a match to the photos shot for Foxy Fighters. And we see the red accessories I mentioned earlier. This is all in the same location, all shot on the same iPhone. Just the thought. August 29th, 2016, Ember, massive planetary wargame Indiegogo campaign is launched. $5,000 goal, raises 23 grand. September 14th, 2016, Ember Milestone 2 campaign is funded on Indiegogo. November 29th, 2016, puts his first adult video on Clips for sale. This is his account and it's linked.
I like how he's actively really trying to make this stupid fucking catfight thing pop off, but he knows that it won't and he knows that it can't. So he's also working on this other game that he's never going to actually publish.
Foxy
Oh my
Fighters
god.
suck. This is him. This is what he is selling. Note, an anonymous user eventually replies, "Is this a Mike Kern product? Deplorable." I want to know who this person was. What did they know? This is in 2017. Someone knew about this 8 years ago? How did they know? Anyway, July 3rd, 2017, MEK Entertainment is formally closed, and July 5th, Ember is funded for 170 grand. So that's 114,000 between both Indiegogo and PayPal donations. That's over 20k goal. Grummz promises a playable mock-up in 6 months. Kickstarter for a full game a month.
In 2017, he got 114,000 and 20,000 for his game in 2017, and it's been almost a decade, and he has nothing. He has nothing for the game.
Or two after that. Anyway, September 13th, 2017, Mark's mum issues a certificate of cancellation for DBChan LLC. So, see ya, DBChan. Thanks for your service, Mark's mum. And on July 24th, 2018, Ember begins selling upgrades to M3 backers as a limited time offer until the Kickstarter later this year. May 20th, 2018, a child support motion is filed by the state of California. Mark and his wife had been separated for a while. He had referred to her as his ex-wife in the Ember Discord, but they had reconciled at this point, according to another Twitter post from him. But this is obvious proof that they did separate at one point. And do you think the reason she left is because she found out about the adult entertainment gig?
Can you imagine being his wife, and then you find out that he's trying to make some fucking catfight kink fucking porn fetish thing pop off? Oh, under his mom's name. Oh my god. Oh my god. See, like, I feel like the fact that people like Mike Kern exist, the fact that Grummz is a real person that exists, and he was able to get a wife at one point, should convince you that all of the manosphere stuff is bullshit. Like, all he needed to do was be normal. He just needed he just needed to be normal. He just needed to be just a little normal. Just a little normal. If there's hope for that guy, there's hope for you. You just need to be a little bit fucking normal, dude. This man is, yeah, he is proof that all the incel shit, all the manosphere shit, it's all bullshit. It's all stupid. All of it is dumb, okay?
Or maybe she found out about the tax fraud. Just a question. The timing makes sense with her leaving, him trying to go all in on the DBChan LLC. Much to think about. So, March 1st, 2019, Debbie resurfaces. like this is when this was archived, but obviously the post was on January 3rd, 2019. They come back on freecatfights.com and ask if there's a demand for Foxy fighters to come back. 7th of March 2019. Well, Mark admits that his original 3D artist left and he's had to teach himself how to do 3D modeling and build the main character of Ember. He's never made a game this way before, so he's trying to do it all without any outside investors. And at this point, you should have realized it's a scam, team. So no one is a full-time employee on Ember. This is a solo project. An MMO is a solo project for him. And come on, team. Anyway, 28th of June 2019, Ember first playable is achieved. Gamers. Finally. 20th of August 2019, Foxy Fighter blog is offline. The DNS update needs to be required. Like, that's pretty simple, but this takes him a while. On the 5th of February 2021, Foxy Fighter is back online. Well done.
Yes, Foxy Fighter is back. Yes, my catfight fetish porn is back. Thank goodness.
Grummz is kind of wanking around at this point. He claims that he's not working on the game due to...
I'm so confused because there's a million saucy games on Steam with like 1 or 2 person devs. You don't understand, okay? His life is really hard.
Family reasons, but he's still just kind of shitposting on Twitter. And on 2nd of August 2021, Debbie releases a story called The Date. So while he's meant to be working on his crowdfunded game, he's actually just written adult literature on the crowdfunder's dime. And this is where that like violent sexual fantasy stuff comes in. 1st of December 2021, the Foxy Fighter URL lapses, a domain squatter grabs it for a hot minute. And 2022-2023, Grummz continues to radicalize himself on twitter.com. The rate of his posting rapidly increases as he tries to make himself one of the big culture warriors, and he's deleted a lot of that stuff now. A lot of his tweets aren't in existence back past 2023, but his rate of tweeting has done nothing but increase even since then. 30th of Jan 2024, Debbie makes her last login on freecatfights.com. God bless. Foxy Fighter URL, still squatted. 26th of March 2024, Grummz tweets, bring back Rumble Roses. This is relevant because that's also Debbie's favorite game. 25th of March 2020.
It feels like I'm watching a weird car crash that's been generated by AI.
We are made aware of the Foxy Fighters connection, and at this point, archival attempts begin. Twitter user Juniper makes contact with Grummz for an interview request. He says yes. He is drunk at the time. He is drunk posting through it because he's mad that he got ratioed by Assassin's Creed. And when he wakes up the next day, Grummz blocks the host of Western Kabuki and begins to delete his past history as Foxy Fighting in Debbie Chan. It's Jova. Never been more Jova. So now what? This wasn't hard to find. We have archived all of it, so I'm going to be very careful with how I phrase the next things. The rest of it's all just been...
Dude, not me trying to find the Grummz Twitter account. And the next 2 accounts are Grummz stole breast milk. I'm just here to say Grummz is an old R. And then Grumm's parody account. And it has the same thing that he has in his bio. Mike Kern, CEO and designer, former team lead for OG World of Warcraft, producer, Diablo 2, StarCraft, Ember 8 lead, Firefall creator, and Poop Eater.
Questions and statements of fact. Most of the previous portion, pure fact of record. Mike Kern is the owner of Foxy Fighters and has a pattern of consistently ignoring his day job to focus on it.
You don't understand, okay? His life is really difficult. He has a lot of posting he needs to do on Twitter. He has so many enemies that are trying to come after him and his family.
He has a history of mismanaging money. He has potentially committed tax fraud that the California AG will be very interested in. He has consistently lied about progress on his games and has failed to make anything commercially successful since he was a team lead at Blizzard. It is my opinion that these games at Blizzard succeeded despite him rather than because of him. He does not know how to code, he does not know how to texture models, his animations are based on 2 keyframes with 3 other frames of animation. He will always have an excuse for his failure after failure after failure. This man is sad. If you keep funding him or supporting him, you are willingly throwing your weight behind someone who has deceived and defrauded thousands of people while trying to position himself as a savior of gaming. There are people in the Ember Discord who have said they are afraid they are going to die before the game comes out. This is all for the purposes of lining his pocket and making some really bad pornographic material. And I feel sad for the guys that are about to die. They are just desperate to play this game. They want to play something that reminds them of when life was better, and he just ignores them. His only goal right now is to get engagement from Elon Musk. He is deep-throating that man so hard that his throat is going to recognize the veins.
Look at this. They tried so many times and failed so many times. They have nothing left. You know what they will, you know they will swat next. That's what they do. Evil scumbags. How's your fetish porn site, you 60-year-old degenerate? Was your name actually Pretty Little Girl 60? A fetish porn did that video make you alive? This guy, call your police department and tell them you think it's likely. Yes, the police will help me. Famously, something the police do. Oh.
That's his life now. He's not making a game. He keeps saying a Kickstarter is coming. This is a great year for Ember. It's not. He does not know how to make a game. His one hope is that Daddy Elon notices him and throws a few $1 million at him to hire people who actually know how to make a game. This man is a failed dev, a failed pornographer, a failed husband with a fragile mind, a fragile ego, and a fragile life. That's the timeline. And I'm not going to make value judgments over the rest of it. That's for you to decide. I have laid out the facts as I see them. It is my opinion, and I'm going to crouch this as being my opinion. Mike Kern is a narcissistic loser who has a publicly stated fetish for lolicon navels and a hidden fetish for women catfighting. He has the ear, at least occasionally, of the richest and most powerful man in the world. What he gets out of this video is what he's going to get.
I did it, Chad. I couldn't resist. I quote tweeted. I couldn't resist. I'm sorry. I couldn't stop myself. I'm sorry, all right? I'm sorry.
People are going to know everything they need to know about him, and they can make decisions from there. Mark runs targeted harassment campaigns against devs that he deems as woke, and he buys his own likes on X.com when he gets ratioed by Assassin's Creed's community manager. He has pilfered and absconded with at least $1.6 million of funding for not one, but 2 failed games, and we have ample evidence that he's also absconded with extremely expensive video equipment to shoot his adult video side hustles. He is nothing if not a sad, lonely man who is desperate to leave a mark, any mark on the world, because he knows his career as a game dev is worth less than a cold turd on a hot dog bun. You now know everything about him. You know his business dealings, his motivations for hustling people out of $1.6 million. He is, in my opinion, a pervert of the highest order who has taken advantage of the goodwill of his fans, taken advantage of their bubbling rage, and he has taken advantage of his own family.
I think like the saddest thing is like the fans that donated money like way back when because they thought he was going to make an actual game in like 2017. And now it's like you're not getting a game.
I think more people should know and understand this. Have a nice day.
That was a good video. Please go like the video, give it a watch. Also, as soon as the video dropped, he admitted it already. You know what the scoop on Grummz is? Over 20 years ago, I ran a very successful, very profitable, no you didn't, softcore company as an easy side gig. No you didn't. We mostly did stories and anime art, all outsourced and put under various pen names like Debbie Chan and putting the LLC under your mom's name. I also got pretty good at photography. This is Erica's favorite photo of herself. I'm proud to have taken it. Oh, it's giving creep vibes. Oh, I hate it. I spilled the beans on Flashcast tonight. Yellow Flash guy has the link. Oh, dude, why is it giving creep vibes? Why? Ugh. Grummz. Grum.
When he said the thing about Grumm's throat recognizing Elon's veins, I thought about you, bread starter again. You're welcome.
No, no. I'm a photographer, but I also only photograph women in my home. God, you're gonna make me throw up in my mouth. Ew. Ew. It's giving 90s warehouse porn vibes. It is, and I don't like it at all, actually. I don't like it.